Number 18, which expression is equivalent to a to the power of 11 twelfths where a is greater than 0? There are two different mathematical principles, and they want you to be familiar with for this one. The first is what a fractional exponent is, what it means, how we convert it to a root. We need to know this because we look here, all 4 of our possible answers are roots. So here is our rule. If I had x to the power of a over b, it is the same as the b root of x to the power of a. So for example, x to the power of 1/2 would be the square root, which we don't usually write the 2, but we could write if we wanted, the square root of x to the power of 1, or just the square root of x. That to me is the way that I always remember which one goes where, because I know x to the power of 1/2 is a square root, so the 2 is outside for that square root. We always have to come up with ways to remember these sort of things. This one's mine. You know, if another way works for you, like put it in the comments below. Let me know what your method is for remembering this one. I'm always up for learning new mnemonic devices for things. So we have our a to the power of 11 twelfths. So we go, okay, let's convert it. I know that b goes out there. It's the 12th root of a to the power of 11. And I've got my answer, and I go and I look over here, and oh no, that is not an option. What is going on? Well, let's look at these options. And let's see what happens if we convert them this way. Let's see what we get for these 4. Let's see if any of them are close to what we know here of these two, what we've got going on. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so first we have a, which is the 12th root of a to the power of 132. That would convert back to a to the power of 132 over 12. Okay. Zoom out a little bit. Let's get all these on the same page. Okay, then our next one is the 144th root of a to the power of 132, which would be a to the power of 132 over 144. Okay. Next one is the 121st root of a to the power of 132, and that would be a to the power of 132 over 121. And then our last one, let me get a different color. Ooh, let's go purple. Our last one is the 11th root of a to the power of 132. So that is going to be a to the power of 132 over 11. And one of these is equivalent to a to the power of 11 twelfths. You go, okay. And a little side note here, if you were doing this problem and you jumped straight to here and you went, wait a minute, all these numbers are really different from a to the power of 11 twelfths. Even if I do this, it's not going to end up the same. That's great. If you were able to jump that step, if you didn't realize that, if you're doing this, do not beat yourself up about that one, honestly. Because I think the logical thing is to think when you just see roots, not really to look at the details of those roots, but immediately do your conversion and then look for the answer and go, wait a minute, something ain't right. And then you have to come back to this step where you're, converting them all and then trying to see what's going on. Okay, so now we have our 4 fractional exponents, and we need to see which of these is equivalent to a to the power of 11 twelfths. So I'm going to get rid of my roots. So we just have our 4 little ones here. And I'm going to make them all line up here. Nice and pretty. There it goes. I got there in the end. It somehow worked. All right, there are my 4. Which of these could possibly be equal to a to the power of 11 twelfths? So really what I'm saying is, which of these fractions is equal to 11 twelfths? We have this 11 twelfths fraction, because the base is not changing. It's a in all of those. So that's not going to change. So I just need to know which of these 4 fractions is equivalent to 11 twelfths. Well, let's look at it. Is 11 twelfths the same as 132 twelfths? Does 11 twelfths equal 132 twelfths? No, there's no way to get from 11 twelfths to 132 twelfths. We could not, or the other way around, either way. So I couldn't multiply 11 twelfths by anything to get to 132 twelfths. And I couldn't simplify this to get to 11 twelfths. And I know that without doing any math, because when you simplify both the bottom and the top, the numerator and the denominator, both of those things, numerator being the top, denominator being the bottom, both of them will get smaller if we're simplifying. And that 12 can't get any smaller because it has to be 12. Because 11 twelfths over here on the left is as simple as it gets. It can't be simplified. So 12 on the bottom has to be the smallest it can be. No. If I simplified this 132 twelfths, the 12 would get smaller, so that's not going to work. So that one is out. What about the next one? 132 over 144. Could that simplify to get me to 11 twelfths? That one looks like it could be. So let's say 11 times what? We can either go either way. We can try to simplify 132 over 144, or we can ask ourselves 11 times what equals 132, and 11 times what equals 144. I think this might be a little easier if you have experience with times tables, if you have those memorized. You might go, wait a minute, I know these from the 12 timetables. 12 times 12 is 144, and 11 times 12 is 132. Hey, 12 over 12 is 1. So 11 twelfths times 1, we haven't changed it. So this is true. 11 twelfths is equal to 132 over 144. So, okay, I think we found our answer. But just to prove it to y'all, let's go through and let me do those other ones. So is 11 twelfths equal to 132 elevenths? Nope, same sort of thing. There's no way this could be the same as this. If I was to simplify it, this 11 on the bottom cannot simplify to 12. That's impossible. And it would have to be, it's already smaller than 12, so it can't get smaller to become 12. Yeah, and the 132 would have to get smaller to be 11. No, that's not possible. That one is out. And then the last one, 132 over 121. This is 11 times 12 gets you to 132, but 12 does not go into 121 evenly. 121 is actually 11 squared. So this one is out as well. Now I will say, if you didn't want to do that math, there is a sort of little logic way that you could look at these four contenders. Like let's say, and again, we've established that it is B, 132, the 144th root of a to the 132nd power, which is the same as a to the power of 132 over 144. But if you didn't want to go through that math and we were kind of back at this stage, you could look at these logically and go, well, 11 twelfths, whatever fraction has to be equivalent to that, has to have a smaller number on top and a bigger number on the bottom. And the only fraction here that fits that is that one. All the other three have the smaller number on the bottom. So it's impossible for any of those to be equal to 11 twelfths, where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Now, I did not say that first because that's how you could solve this problem, but it's not how you're going to solve every problem that's like this. And I have seen this type of problem before where they have a fractional exponent and then a bunch of roots that are not direct correlations with it, that they have to be changed, that you have to multiply that fraction by something to get to that root. I've seen this before. I cannot recall if they use this same sort of setup where there's only one that's even possible before you do any math. It's unlikely. It's unlikely that you'll get that. Don't count on it. In this case, yes, it works. But please know how to use the other method. When you get those little gifts that they give you, like, hey, wait a minute, I don't have to do math. I can just go, hey, this is the only one where the denominator is bigger than the numerator. It must be that one. It is. That's great. But don't bet on it. Know how to do the math. All right, B is my answer. Hey guys, it's Alyssa, and if you're looking for more SAT or PSAT help, go to mathwithalyssa.com. You can get over 25 hours. Yes, 25 hours of test prep, including math and reading and writing. And there's dozens of practice questions, downloadable study guides, you name it. Links to everything in the description down below. Leave me a comment if you have any questions about this video or any suggestions for future videos. And if this video was helpful or useful in any way, please let YouTube know. Like, share, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.